Is it real or is it fake? This is a Fender Telecaster Thinline with a spalted maple top. Let's find out. Hello and welcome to another edition of Is It Real or Is It Fake? Kind of the same story, another pawn shop. This is one I hadn't been in probably almost a year. I walk in, I see this hanging up with a $400 price on it, and if they thought it was real, of course it would be higher than that. But anyway, hadn't really seen a Thinline with a spalted maple top, unless it was the ones that were made in Korea, the FMT models, the little higher end ones. But usually those weren't bolt-on, although there were a few made in Korea that were. So I thought, well, give this one a chance. I went up there, and of course I knew what it was. I kind of figured it out. It took me a little time on my phone, which I totally recommend doing before you buy it. Look for it, find it. Had some weird name pickups in it, but not saying that those can be changed out. I ended up Googling Telecaster Thinline spalted maple, that's what this top is. And the thing plays great. I mean, it's, I picked it up and felt it, and I go, well, that doesn't feel too bad, so what do? You gotta make a decision on, well, it might be fake. It kind of has the black plug that they use, or shield that they use in the truss rod cover area. It's made out of plastic, and that one contains that. Well, that's Mexico or some Squires, that have that now. I looked at the tuners. Of course, the tuners looked a little fishy. But anyway, I'm gonna take this outside and discuss exactly what I saw and what I found. So you'll know what to look for if you encounter this and you're questioning whether or not it's real or fake.
First thing I noticed was, the book matched spalted maple, which really looks good. They did a fine job on that and on the binding all the way around. The fit and finish is really nice, so that makes you question whether or not it's real. It's got the old-fashioned bridge there, double humbucker, which isn't out of the realm of some things Fender does. The name of the pickups is going to come into play. 22 frets, what appears to be a rosewood fretboard. It might be the Indian Laurel, but decal, fishy right off the bat. It looks like they took a marker or paint right there and just colored in the truss rod hole. So that looks fake. The finish, try to get some light on it, is ripply and has a little orange peel, so somebody definitely sprayed something on the top of it. Decal's too big. String tree, of course, is not in the right place. Should be over here a little bit. Decal is a little big. Headstock shape has definitely been reshaped. They did kind of a good job, I guess, on rounding it off pretty good, but it's definitely been reshaped. It's not a factory cut. There you can see it's a little bit flawed, a little bit saw burn there. You won't see that on a Fender. But you flip it over, and here's always the dead giveaway. The tuners. That's not even low-end Squire tuners. That's just whatever the hell they had at the time they put this together. The finish is a little iffy. Of course, you can see kind of ripples all the way around. But if I can get the sun to reflect on that, you can see the horribleness of the finish. They should have finish sanded it. And the decal is kind of weak. If you can get up there real close and see that it was just it was put on some water slide paper Not a very good job. The nut. Now if it was a Squire, it would be rounded off a little bit more. Well, they got flat wounds on this thing, which is pretty cool. The end work on the frets is good. See, it says Destiny CNC wound, whatever that means. The back of it, of course, looks good. This one is probably a second factory defect or something like that, because there's a repair done. Repair's not bad. It looks like it got it, you know, back to functioning anyway. Neck, yeah, that headstock shape is off. So all the signs are there that this is 100% fake. But what did they build this off of? There are some hints, and I'll show you what I found on Google when I did Google it inside the pawn shop. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. I'll give you the hints I found. When I was inside the pawn shop, this is what I Googled. Telecaster Thinline spalted maple. And then I scrolled down a little bit, and you can see right there, click on that, that is the spalted maple actual fender. As you can see, that's what those look like. Those were the FMT models. Korea, $600, $700, $800 value right now, maybe even more. But right below that, I saw IVY was the first thing that came to it. So that means, we got something here. So look at there. Destiny CNC wound pickups. Look at this thing. It is identical to the one I just showed you. And that's what the headstock did look like before somebody reshaped it. But every spec, tuners, spalted maple top, it's built 100% alike. So I think we found our culprit. It's a $200 IYV Telecaster Thinline spalted maple. IYV. I don't know how to pronounce that. IYV. Ivy. Looks like Ivy is how you probably pronounce it. Not 100% sure. But these are $200 guitars, and for a, fake, which this one actually has more of a Strat headstock than a Tele, so this thing was really reshaped. And of course that truss rod hole right there, as I knew it, it had been painted. Everything looks exactly the same. There is no difference in these. Of course, the pattern of the book matched spalted maple is different, but other than that, it's identical. I mean, they don't look any different, and it is super light like that. This thing came in at just under 6 pounds also. Thanks for watching. Tune in again. I'm sure I think there seems to be an epidemic of these fake guitars I'm running into. So every time I find one, I've always kind of found them before, but I've been finding a lot more lately. I don't know if people are just buying cheap guitars and faking them and trying to fool the pawn shops or whatever. They have been catching them most of the time, and they usually still don't put a lot of money into them. Even if they have that gut feeling that it's fake, they usually are not paying very much for it anyway. So but anyway, y'all be cool. If there ain't no beer in heaven, I ain't going. If there ain't no beer in heaven, I'm not showing. Oh, there ain't no beer in heaven, I ain't going. There ain't no beer in heaven, I guess I'll be a no-show.